Добрый день, дорогие восьмиклассники! Я рада снова вас всех видеть. И у нас сегодня 5-й вебинар в этом семестре, 5-й в этой четверти и последний, кстати, в этой четверти. Я знаю, что в следующей неделе у вас уже весенние каникулы. У вас будет небольшой перерыв, чтобы почувствовать, наконец, весну, чтобы набраться новых сил и вступить в новую четверть. И сегодня я с вами, Дарья Александровна, проведу вебинар на тему «Страноведение России. Не оскудела талантами, земля, русская». То есть мы сегодня будем говорить о талантах. And from now on, let's speak English because it is an English webinar, and I'm glad to see all of you. And let's start our webinar. So, what talents do you or your close friends have? Can you write into the chat about your talents or talents of your friends or relatives, or maybe some famous people that you admire? Please write your comments into the chat. I'll read them. I will be glad to read them. For example, I can give you an example. My classmate had a talent for singing as a bird, exactly like a bird. It was wonderful listening to her. So, what talents do you or your close friends or relatives have? Maybe it's photography, or playing some kind of musical instrument like this, or maybe acting in the theater. Maybe you are a talented actor. Or maybe painting, drawing, or cooking. Or maybe you've got a natural talent for math or science. It can be anything. What is a gifted person, by the way? What is the difference between a gift and a talent? A gifted child is a talented child, but a gifted child is much more intelligent, or it's much more talented than an average person. What is the difference between a talent and a gift? Look, they are synonyms. Talent is a natural ability to be good at something, especially without being taught. And gift is the same thing. The first meaning of this word is something that you give to someone, right? As a present. So the first meaning of a gift is a present. And the second meaning is a natural ability, a special ability that is given to you by God. So it's a gift to you from God, right? So we've got the same words in Russian, by the way. We can say талант or we can say дар. Yes, so gift is дар. And maybe you know that this composer, Mozart, was a gifted person. He was a very talented, gifted child, and he started writing his music. He started composing when he was only 5. When he was at the age of 5 only. And maybe you've seen this film, just a trailer, or maybe just a poster, or maybe you've watched it entirely. And it's about a girl who was gifted at math. So today we are going to read about talents and about organizations that help people to find their talents, and they help talented people. So let's read the topic of the text. Let's read the heading. It's called Юрий Розум Foundation. Foundation is an organization or a fund. Фонд или организация, учреждение. In this case, it's a fund. Fund. So let's read this text. Please listen to it very attentively, and then let's translate some of the new words. So, Russia has always been known for its gifted musicians, and the country has produced some of the greatest composers and performers in history, including world-famous Tchaikovsky and Rachmaninoff. Nowadays, in order to preserve and continue this great musical tradition, many institutes and private individuals support talented children who hope to one day follow in the footsteps of their forefathers and become musicians. Look, to preserve means to maintain, to keep something, сохранить. To preserve means сохранить. So institutes, organizations, right, and private individuals, индивидуальные персоны, да, предприниматели, maybe, they support talented children, and they hope to follow in their forefathers' footsteps, пойти по стопам кого-то, to follow in somebody's footsteps. And forefather is your ancestor, предок. We can say прадед. So, the Юрий Розум International Charity Foundation was created in 2005 to invest in the musical future of Russia. Since then, it has been awarding scholarships to children from the ages of 7 to 17 who wish to study music but whose parents cannot afford school fees. They invest, right? They invest, or it means they give money to afford to children so that parents can afford school fees. Afford means позволить себе. And school fees, fee, это плата, взнос, so it's an amount of money, a fixed charge for professional services, we can say. And the idea behind the program is that a child is talented. They should be given every opportunity to be able to develop their skill. Opportunity is a chance, right? To select the children who will be given an award, competitions are held every year in all of Russia's regions. Children are invited to come and perform before a jury of judges who decide whether they are worthy of an award or not. So, a jury of judges. We've got the same word in Russian, жюри, a jury, and judge means судья, and they decide whether the children are worthy of an award. Worthy means whether they deserve it. Достойны они, да? Worthy, достойны. Those who are selected are given financial support to help them with their musical studies for 1 year. So financial support, финансовая поддержка, amount of money, right, that is given to someone to support this person. They can spend this money to buy instruments, pay school fees or private lessons, and for travel and living expenses if they have to live away from home. Living expenses. Expenses are all money that you spend. Расходы. We can translate it this way. And look, pay school fees. So we've got this word for the second time, fees and fees, right? At the end of the year, judges review the participants' progress, and if they believe that the child has worked well, the scholarship can be renewed for 1 year. So they review, they look again, review, еще раз рассматривают the participants' progress, and they can renew their scholarship. Scholarship is money provided to a student on the basis of academic merit. We can translate it as стипендия. So they can renew this scholarship for 1 more year. And money to support the foundation is raised in different ways. But the main fundraising events are concerts. Every year, on the UNESCO International Day for the Protection of Childhood, the foundation holds a music festival in Moscow, during which the winners of the previous year's scholarship perform. It is a fantastic way to show what great work the foundation does and raise money to help even more young musicians. Money to support the foundation is raised. If money is raised, it means собрать деньги, to collect, right? Собрать. But the main fundraising event are concerts. So fundraising event. Fundraising – те, которые собирают средства. So to raise a fund, to raise money, fundraising. Собрать деньги, собирающие деньги. And look, we've got this word, scholarship, once again. Winners of the previous year's scholarship. Победители предыдущих лет. Те, кто получили стипендии в предыдущие года. So great. I hope that you enjoyed this text, and maybe you found something new for you, and maybe you would like to take part in this competition and to try yourself. So after reading this text, we are to mark the statements true, false, or not stated. I hope that you remember. And let's read the first statement. Tchaikovsky and Rachmaninoff both got scholarships when they were young. Think whether it's true, false, or not stated. Sometimes people think that something is false because they don't remember that it was in the text. But maybe it was not stated. That's why you don't remember it. So think about it. And let's read the second sentence. Yuri Rozum scholarships are for children of all ages. All ages. So we can have scholarships if a child of 1 year can get a scholarship. I'm not sure. Think what was in this text. Try to remember what was in this text. And children seeking a scholarship have to perform before judges. Seeking means that want to get a scholarship, who search for a scholarship, looking for. To seek is to look for something. Okay, the next statement. The scholarship has to be used to pay music school fees. So this statement means you mustn't use your scholarship for different purposes, only to pay music school fees. Is it right? So try to remember what was in this text. And the last one, a lot of the money is raised through music events. So I give you 20 seconds to think, and let's look at the answers. So let's look at the first sentence. It was not stated in this text. So they said something about Tchaikovsky and Rachmaninoff, but there was nothing about whether they were awarded a scholarship or not. And the second statement is false, because the Yuri Rosen Charity Foundation awards scholarships only to children from the ages of 7 to 17. And number 3, so it's true. Children are invited to come and perform before a jury of judges. So they perform before judges. The same thing. And the next one. The scholarship has to be used to pay music school fees. It's false, because they can spend this money to buy instruments, to pay school fees or private lessons as well, and for travel. So you can use it for different purposes, not only to pay for your music school. And the last one is true. It was said that the main fundraising events are concerts, so music concerts, and it is the same thing as music events. So, and our next task is to match the word symbol to their synonyms. These are the words from the text: to preserve, to afford, opportunity, select, skill, and worthy. I hope that you remember all of them and what they mean, and it won't be difficult for you to match these words with their synonyms, with their meanings. So look at the first line. Deserving something. Which one should we choose? The next one, able to pay, to be able to pay something, to pay money for something. To keep, to choose, an ability, and a chance. So I give you 20 seconds to think, and let's compare our answers. Okay, let's check. So, deserving something means to be worthy, быть достойным чего-то. Deserving. Deserve – это тоже быть достойным, to deserve something. The next one. To be able to pay, to afford. Мочь себе позволить что-то. Мочь себе позволить заплатить за что-то. The next one. To keep is to preserve. Сохранить. Поддержать, сохранить. To preserve. The next one. Choose, select. To choose is to select. You can also say to pick. Pick. They are all synonyms. And the next one. Ability, skill. And the last one, opportunity, which we can translate as возможность, opportunity. So, now let's look at the next task. And this task is to write the word derived from the word given. For example, you've got a gap here, and you need to write a word derived from this one. Слово, образованное от того, которое дано. Derived – это образованное, это однокоренное слово, да? Только там будет суффикс или приставка какая-нибудь. А может быть и суффикс, и приставка. So, let's read this text and do this exercise little by little. So, Yuri Rozum, president of the fund, is a man. It must be an adjective. Remarkable. Remarkable man. So we add a suffix able, right? Remarkable. And here must be a noun. Here is a verb, and we need to make it noun. Сделать существительное. He is a remarkable man and performer. So we use the suffix er. Born to parents who were both honored, and we need to use the same word as well, but look, his parents, it's plural, множественное число. So it's not the same form or the same word, but we need to put s, performers, because it's plural, множественное число. He has developed a concert style of interpretation, style of interpretation, so it must be an adjective as well. Прилагательное, опять. What suffix can we use to make it an adjective? Let's look at the answer. A concert style of passionate interpretation, passionate, of romantic composers, Rachmaninoff, Tchaikovsky, and Chopin. So we name 3 composers here, and before we name them, we need a preposition. Here is a verb, but we need to make a preposition. We use the suffix ing in this case, including, включая, including. And now let's look at this sentence. His concert work has taken him all over the world after early, so we already have an adjective and we need a noun, such as the gold medal and first prize and the Barcelona International Piano Competition. So there are his, achieve, and we need to add a suffix, achievements. And it's plural again because there are a lot of achievements, not just one achievement, but several. And the last sentence, special prize in Tokyo and silver medal at the Montreal Piano. And we've got a verb, compete, and we need to make it a noun. Piano competition. So actually we've already had this word here, competition, соревнование, competition. And the next task is to fill in the gaps with the appropriate forms of the verb given. So we don't need to derive anything, but we need to put it in the correct tense, поставить в правильное грамматическое время. Maybe it's a little bit more difficult, but let's look. Russia produce many great musicians. There can be several opportunities for you, several possibilities, and maybe you can say Russia produces many great musicians, so always produces. But what about this text? We mainly talk about the past events, but they are related to the present event. So we'll use has produced, but you can also say produces, always produces. Russia has produced many great musicians. And the Yuri Rozum International Charity Foundation, and we need to use this verb, create. I'll give you a hint, подсказка, I'll give you a hint. You need to use a passive voice, the passive voice, пассивный залог, in this case. The foundation была основана в 2005. It was created. Это пассивный залог, прошедшее время, past simple, because we've got a date. Да? У нас есть определенная дата, поэтому это past simple в пассивном залоге. And the next one. Children perform in contests once a year. if the judges, they are good enough, they are given money for 1 year. So we've got a phrase that starts with if. Если судьи думают, что они достаточно хороши, им даются деньги на 1 год. Да? Если судьи думают, it's a regular event. Это постоянное событие каждый год. And we cannot use the future tense after if. После if мы не используем будущее время. Поэтому глагол остается в настоящем времени, поскольку это ежегодное событие, да, всегда происходит. И the judges, it's plural, so we don't need to put s. So if the judges think, so we just leave it this way. And if the judges think they are good enough, they are given money for 1 year, им даются деньги на 1 год, чтобы потратить на уроки. They are given money for 1 year, чтобы потратить. We'll use to spend. Чтобы потратить, to spend. The charity raises money by, and we need to use hold, concerts each year. Благотворительность собирает money, проводя концерты каждый год. Проводя. So we need to use suffix in by holding concerts. And where the children who award money the previous year perform. Дети, которые были вознаграждены, да, it's the passive voice again, пассивный залог снова, и the previous year, да, в предыдущем году, то есть это опять пассивный залог в прошедшем времени, в past simple конкретно. So the children who were awarded, and we use were, not was, because the children, it's plural. I hope that now it's clear, more or less. And I would like to ask you a question. Do you know other foundations that support talented people? Not only Russian foundations, but also international foundations, or maybe they are just in other countries. If you know some of them, please write their names into the chat. I think that it will be very interesting for you and for your companions, for your peers to read about the foundations that support talented children, talented people, because some of you may take part in some of their competitions and try to get this scholarship, and I wish you luck with this possibility. And if you have any questions, you can also ask me in this chat below our video, and I will be glad to answer them. And I see you in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks. So I wish you a wonderful week, a wonderful wonderful holidays. Yes, because you've got holidays. And see you in 2 weeks. Goodbye.